Man, listen.
Oh, honey, here. Let's take the mask off. Oh, it's okay, baby. We'll put it right back on. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, come on. It's all right, baby. It's all right. Here, just sit down right here. Oh, yeah. It's okay. We'll take this off just for a minute.
I want to be Spider-Man.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I want to go trick-or-treating. I want candy, Mama.
Oh, baby, you can't go out there. Here your meds. Here your meds. Take that now. Good boy.
I know it. Here comes Mighty Cakes back into the ring after
Okay,
that fine
that's good.
I want to go trick-or-treating,
I
Mama.
know, baby. Mommy's gonna sing to you. Mommy's gonna sing to you now.
Hey, hold up. You think this makes things even?
Look, hey man, look, I got a woman I gotta go to.
Who's that, Angela? She's outside. All right. All the charges against you dropped. I'll get you an ambulance. Go on.
Do a few questions about your past and how you come to where you are today.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Mike Messier. I'm an independent movie maker. I live in Rhode Island. I've been here for quite some time. I'm a screenwriter. I'm also an acting coach. I take a lot of pride in that because I've worked with friends of yours like Colin Felder, who's been on your show before, and I've worked with a lot of people in the state of Rhode Island, even having students from New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And I really try to help people in my acting classes get going with their own careers. And some people want to be a professional actor and work towards that, and some people like it for creative outlet, you know. But really what I'm focusing now on is my filmmaking, trying to get somewhere with that.
That's great, that's great. So let us know a little bit more about yourself, like your background, like where you grew up at, where you from, where you was born at, things of that nature.
I was born in a small town, and I live in Dynasty. No, that's all John Cougar Milligan. I grew up in Burke, Virginia. I was born, I think, in Arlington, Virginia. There's 3 A's in that area: Arlington, Alexandria, and Annapolis. Sometimes I even get them confused. That's actually Annapolis, Maryland. But anyway, I was brought up in Burke, Virginia, and it was a very suburban existence. It was kind of boring. So I moved to Greensboro, North Carolina a few years later, and lived there for a while. But you know, Rhode Island and New England is a different type of vibe. I mean, people can be a little hard around here, but there's a lot of people that are very creative. You know, like Providence is a city, you know, with AS220 and all the arts communities in Providence who just blow you up as far as the arts. You know, so it's nice to be in this area where you can go see theater, you can see music, anything you want. You know, independent films. It's really cool, I think.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So tell us about your next feature film.
Well, my next, there's a few projects. The next one that I'll be making is called Chris and the Coffee Girl. That is a project I've been working on for a while, and it's going to take some money. You know, it's going to take some effort on my part to raise the money, but we're looking to do that. It's about a guy named Chris who's kind of infatuated with this coffee girl, and he goes through, you know, the situation of trying to pursue her, and then he gets this very unusual buddy type of character who kind of jumps in and the buddy is played by Raven, who's a pro wrestler of some note, and you know, just kind of wild story, man. So we got Maria Kanellis, who was on WWE Diva of the Year. She's attached as the coffee girl, and myself, I'll be playing Chris, the guy who's infatuated with her, you know. So it should be fun. That's one project. I worked with our mutual friend Muffin, Siobhan Young, on two actually. Disregard the Vampire, which is a script that I wrote. Disregard the Vampire is about 4 characters, 2 vampires, 2 civilians, and how they kind of bump into each other in one crazy evening. And you know, it's kind of like an induction of new vampires. The piece that we were talking about, Displaced, is Muffin's or Siobhan's piece. It's I was happy to be the casting director and assist her in her casting decisions for Displaced, and that's a really nice piece. It's about a woman who's kind of having financial troubles, and she goes through this journey in meeting all these side characters trying to get assistance and help because she doesn't want to end up basically homeless. And there's kind of a guardian angel who's played by Jose Gonzalez, who's a great actor, and Jose kind of steps up and helps her out. So, you know, Jose is a great actor. I was able to work with him on Disregard the Vampire, Displaced, the web series In the Bedroom. He's a really good guy, good actor from Rhode Island, who's coming along real strong. So
That's great.
yeah. And then there's a short film I recently did called Nature of the Flame. The Nature of the Flame, we recently entered into the Rhode Island International Film Festival. We're really keeping our fingers crossed. We hope we get into that festival.
Yeah, that was that. I have an episode of that too.
Nice.
Yeah, I went there and shot some movies and talked to some people.
Yeah, George Marshall and the Rhode Island International Film Festival, as you know, have been doing this for 10 or 15 years. They're really serious about bringing top quality films from around the world to Rhode Island. I mean, you have the Rhode Island International Film Festival. There's other great film festivals in New England, Pawtucket Film Festival, Scene, Southeast New England Film Festival. And, you know, it's really cool that you have more than one opportunity in Rhode Island to share your work. It's awesome.
That's great, most definitely. What other films, if any?
Oh, plenty. There's plenty of stuff I can talk about. You know, I'm glad I'm here because I got a lot of things I can talk about. I mean, there was one we did really nice called Blood Sugar Sid Ace. Blood Sugar Sid Ace. It's kind of a tongue twister, but if you ever listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, their album Blood Sugar Sex Magic from way back in '92, I kind of based the title Blood Sugar Sid Ace out of kind of a respect to that. But what it is 4 characters named Blood, Sugar, Sid, and Ace, and 2 males, 2 females, and it's about Sid, who's kind of relating his life and all the mistakes he's made with women, with work, with art. And he kind of goes through this spiritual and mental journey, just going nuts, you know. And like as we know, art can drive you crazy. Relationships, whether it's male with female or female with male, can drive you nuts, you know. And so Sid is kind of as a guy who's at the elder stage of life, he's kind of reminiscing, but it's not a happy reminiscing. It's a tortured, you know, trail. And honestly, I kind of base this character on myself. Although I'm younger than Sid, I've been through some crazy stuff, you know, as sure we both have. And you kind of have these bumps in life that stand out. Like, oh man, I can't believe I did that. You know, I can't believe that situation with that woman or that work, you know, got me to this depressing place. So I feel pretty good about Blood Sugar Sid Ace. You know, we're trying to get distribution for that, and I'll tell you, that's an interesting challenge, you know, to try and distribute a film, even when it's done. There's roadblocks, there's people who, you know, they want to get a cut, which is fine, but at some point you're like, man, this is going to cost me even more money than I did to make the movie, you know, so it never ends, you know what I mean? There's some other good projects I've been involved in. People can look on YouTube. You know, YouTube's very popular. I did this piece called Stickman a while back. Stickman was an animated stick figure, you know, and he got all these crazy adventures and stuff. And kind of an R-rated cartoon, even though it was just dialogue. You know, there was nothing too crazy, but it was just like, you know, you can do a lot with comedy to really push people's buttons, I've discovered. So yeah, you know, that's some of the projects. There's one called Wrestling with Sanity that I've worked on for a long time. I've got some pro wrestlers involved in that. We made 3 short films that won 3 awards, and we feel very good about that. But what I've learned is that sometimes you have everything together except the money, you know, and it's like, where do we go? Where do we go for this? You know, and it's kind of like, it's very confounding for an artist who thinks in terms of creativity and scripts and characters and actors, and then you do hit the financial business aspect, you know, of the entertainment business. It's entertainment, it's not entertainment, it's entertainment business. You hit that point where it's like, man, you know, where's my rich uncle? You know, like, where do I go for this thing? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, I mean, there's not to cut you off, but there's possible grant situations that you could explore, you know, things of that nature.
I have applied for a few grants. What I find with my work is that it's so personal and narrative that I don't really have an angle, you know, like a documentary has that nice, you know, you can do something very uplifting, you know, with a documentary. Some of my stuff is uplifting, you know, like Wrestling with Sanity has a whole thing about mental illness, you know, people that suffer through mental illness, bipolar disorder and post-traumatic stress syndrome to be exact. Like, you know, how can these people be helped? Or can we just examine that situation and what it's like to go through that type of situation? But a lot of my stuff, to be honest with you, is so personal and comedic, you know, but I'm not discounting what you said. I mean, yeah, grants, something to look into for sure.
Most definitely. I understand, you know, when it comes to grants, there's always that criteria that is, you know, duplicated or implicated. I don't even know what that is. You know, and is, you know, you got to follow a certain criteria in order to receive the funds. So, I mean, it's understandable, you know, that it's not as easy to receive a grant because of what requirements are put forth for the grant.
Yeah, one thing, exactly. One thing that McCremy Multicultural Productions and I, my friend Teresa Michelazzo, who's a great lady, she and I have been working on multicultural casting, you know, for Chris and the Coffee Girl specifically. We have like a very ethnically diverse cast, which may help us, it may not, but we're as far as getting some grants, you know. But once again, that narrative type of thing is not a documentary, but, you know, it's always good to keep these avenues open, you know, and think about stuff like that, you know. So that's good.
That's great. That's great. You know, anything else? Anything else you want to share before we?
Well, I'll keep talking all day if you want. You know, I love. You know, I mean, we talk about things like you and I were talking before you started taping, and it's like, you know, this world is so tough. You know, not even, I was going to say this business, but the world in general is a tough place to live in. So, you know, what I say to my acting students and my friends and my colleagues is you got to do your own thing. You've got to generate your own projects. You know, a lot of actors will come to me and they want a part, which is great, but I may not have a project going on this minute, you know, or a part that's even right for them. So what I try to tell my friends and my students is you've got to generate your own work. You know, you've got to do what you're doing, which is bringing the camera, you know, and then putting it and making something. You know, you can't just rely on some other person, you know, to come in and swoop in and be Superman. You know, you've got to be your own Batman or whatever, you know. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that you're doing this show. I'm happy to be here, and for people that want to check me out, I'm not going to plug my website or anything, but just, you know, Google me. You know, Yahoo search Mike Messier, and you'll find plenty of stuff. I'm on the internet, and yeah, and if people want to check out my acting coaching, you know, I'm available for that. So once again, just you can find me. I'm a relatively easy guy to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You know, you have a nice day.